Yes, yes, and yes again. It's the Bushman. Welcome to the Rebound NBL show. Got a little bit of a different twist this time. We're gonna, talk about some topics that aren't really talked about in basketball, and we're gonna put a little bit of emphasis on that. And I've got the perfect first guest for it, ladies and gentlemen. The most annoying guy to play against in Division One. No word of a lie. Ishmael Fontaine of the Worthing Thunder. Talk to me, King. What's good?
I'm chilling, brother. What are you saying? I just got back from camp, running around, chasing them kids around, trying to get them better. So,
how's the camp going?
It's going okay, man. We got a good mix of guys. We've got some novices in the younger ages, but some of our guys that I believe should be at the international level, just trying to get them to understand the mindset. That's probably why they're not on the international level yet, because it's a different mindset, and that's what I want them to I want to kind of transition them to understand what work is, and not just all this. I hear a lot of things about, work till it hurts, and you got to do 4,000 jump shots a day. And I'm sitting there thinking, Steve Kerr shot 200 jump shots a day. And he's hit some of the biggest shots in NBA history, and there's guys trying to kill you. So don't overdo it with that. It's all about mentality.
I hear that, man. It's a good thing you're talking about mentality. That's the topic of the conversation today, So, but before we get there, Worthing's gone and done a madness. Just finding a way to sort of snatch a lot of really good players and turning themselves into a real juggernaut of a team next season. How's that make you feel, man?
I mean, I've never been on a bad Worthing team, to be honest. So it's tough because you think about the first year I was here, we had Nick Lewis and Alex Obumi, who I don't know if anyone's ever worked out Alex Obumi. The guy is like insanely good at basketball, like especially on the shooting side of the ball, and especially on the defensive side of the ball, he's insanely good. Nick Lewis is a prolific scorer. And then next year, every year we play with some guys who have great experience and are really, really good. Next year we had AJ Bassi, Dominic Ives, who shot really well. Obviously, Zaire was Zaire, two-time MVP.
Yeah.
And you think about the lockdown year when we have Max Richardson, who I think I'm highly praise of this guy's game. I think this guy's game, I think he's so skilled. So it's nothing really new. I'm just happy to play. I've recently just kind of opened dialogue with Dre. I've never really spoken to Dre or that much before, but Dre is like already becoming my fast favorite. David Moyer, to be honest, was my favorite player in the NBL last year.
Oh, for real?
It's like to have someone that was my favorite player in the NBL last year on my team is kind of like, when you read The Secret and you bring yourself into alignment with all this stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of eerie to me because I was singing this guy's praises for 9 months. So it's just kind of weird that he's on my team now. So I'm happy about that. I think everyone we got on the team this year is really hungry to win as well.
Oh, for sure.
Ronald Blaine is about to be a juggernaut of energy. So, and you think you've got the gold medal winner in Orlando Jackman.
Yeah.
But we've still got some great guys on my team. Tom Ward's there. He's my brother, and I think he's probably one of the best shooters I've ever seen. So. With Zayat, it's always like Zaya's got a vision, and I'm always supportive of someone's vision.
Of course, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys play next year. Hopefully, I play against you as well. Especially when you got one of my guys, Hafiz, on your team as well. Me and him just go back and forth all the time.
Hafiz, man. Hafiz offensively, he's not gonna stop. Like he is the juggernaut. To be honest, he is the guy that will never give up. So the mix is great. To be fair.
I just tell him I owe him because he got me bad in one tournament on the weekend.
Bro,
over the weekend. So
the video, I did see it. I mean, the angle wasn't as flattering. So you're okay in that kind of stance. You're not doing too bad. So
if
it was a different angle with more of a 4K camera, you might be in trouble.
Yeah, bro. I would have been in deep crap. But it is what it is, isn't it? Happens to the best of us, isn't it?
For sure.
But first of all, thanks for coming. Like I said earlier, thanks for coming down. Thanks for wanting to talk to me. But I think to start, you are an enigma, just from my point of view. You're a really, really interesting character, and I love your character. I love what you stand for. I love the noise you make. I love how much of an advocate you are for progression in British basketball with some of the things that you say and some of the things that you do. Like what you said the other day about hoops fix and maybe, you know, maybe even think about, rather than complaining about what the BBC are doing and all this and that and the other, maybe hoops fix should just have their own show. I 1,000% for that. And your character's infectious, you know, playing against you, you know, you're a prick. You're a prick to play against. You know, you love to get under people's skin. You like to chirp. You like to make noise, and that's the kind of basketball character that I love personally as a player. But my first question is: was you always like this?
I don't see myself as an enigma. I don't see myself as that kind of guy. I'm just like on the basketball court. I just want, you know, I don't want anyone to think that they can check me, like, especially defensively. I don't want you just to think there's a bucket over here, bro. There's an elbow over here, and there's some other stuff over here. But you know, I don't want you to think I'm the matchup you can go against. You know, and I work towards that. It's not just all smoke and mirrors, bro. Like I'm out here. Do you know what I'm saying? So
of course.
Like, for me, if you ever heard me chirp, it's because someone was started talking before me. I don't like all this sneaky shit. Like, I don't like all this sneaky, I'm gonna say something under my breath. No, what did you say?
You said it with chest.
You
say it with chest.
Like little things. Like we played against some team where the guy wanted to walk over my teammate. Like put his foot over and I'm not disrespectful, bro. Like, I don't like disrespect. Like, you ain't about to walk over my teammate. I'm gonna push you. Now I look crazy. You know what I'm saying? But you're crazy to think that you're gonna step over my teammate or you're gonna do this. So, I just like playing defense. I like working hard. I want my team to play at a high energy. You know, and if that makes me a joke man, then I guess I'm a joke man.
You ain't no joke man. Believe me, you ain't no joke man, fam. But knowing your role on the court, knowing that you're one of the vocal leaders as well, you know, with the things that you do and the way you conduct yourself and the way you play the game, how mentally do you prepare every week on and off the court for things like that?
Oh, I watch a lot of tape. You know, Ray, before we played against each other in the first game when Tom went off, I watched Essex play 3 or 4 times. And I'm talking the year before that, whatever I could find, I watched Essex play. You know, I do a lot. I meditate a lot. I think meditation is an underused tool. I think it's a very underused tool, man. And I always make sure that, especially the day of the game, there's no negativity around me.
Yeah.
And make sure I'm surrounded by the people I want to be surrounded by. And if that's nobody, then I'm in my room by myself. But, that's really important to me. And getting to the games really early. I get to the games, especially home games. I get there 2.5 hours early. I want to make sure I've done my due diligence before anyone can bother me with something else, because you never know what could happen. You could get to the game an hour early and think you're going to get your warm-ups in and someone forgot the balls, or the basket's not ready, or this is happening. So I want to know what I'm getting myself in for. So I always prepare with meditation, which is the most important, because it's not about, first of all, it's about emptying your mind. Focusing on that 40 minutes, focusing on the 18 minutes or the 10 minutes you play or the 6 minutes you play, focusing on that. And it's also focusing on what you need to do to be successful. You know, it's better. I'd rather mentally prepare to win than come into a game unprepared mentally and lose the game, because then I have no right to be upset.
Yeah.
So like, I don't like losing games. When I lived in Germany, we played against the team. I played in Königs Wusterhausen. We used to lose a lot. They called it a success, so that's why they couldn't. I wasn't going to play for them again. But it used to ruin my Sunday, bro. We lost. I didn't want to go out after the game and do this. So I was young as well. So you know, these were the kind of things that affected me. You know, especially when I was away from. I was in a different city, I was living in East Germany, which ain't the most liberal.
Yeah.
And losing games on top of that kind of killed me. So I kind of learned from that experience. You know.
Okay. What I mean? Let's talk more about your experiences out there. Like, a lot of I'm speaking from my experiences. A lot of athletes, they have the opportunity to, you know, do what they love and everything, but just being a professional athlete for the first time round, or being a professional athlete in a different city, in a different country the first time round. How did you cope with that? How did you cope with a different environment? How did you cope with the noise around you?
I was really lucky because I had great teammates who I'm friends with to this day. We probably talk twice a week. One from Chicago and one from London, actually. His name's Glenn Isagay. He doesn't play anymore because he's old as dirt. Guy from Chicago's got a bum knee and 57 kids, so he ain't trying to play
boy.
no more. But we we looked after each other, bro. And for me, being an import, I prefer being an import than being a local player. I've always felt that way, because import, there's pressure. You've got to come and perform. We brought you. We paid for your ticket, your house, your Wi-Fi, your healthcare, your this, your that, for you to come and do this job. And I like that.
Yeah.
I didn't like playing as a British guy sometimes, and having the imports treat you in a way. I didn't take it, obviously. You want to treat me this way, we're going to get in a circle. And that means, you're going to put your hands up. But, being an import and sharing that kind of, that kind of situation where there was no inherent privilege for you to do anything. Everything, your job was on the line if you didn't.
Yeah.
I prefer that kind of environment, because it means when I'm working, it's not empty calories. Everything I've got to do is based on the role I'm playing, you know. And I like to win as a team. I hate all the comparisons and single player rankings. I hate the MVP conversation, GOAT conversation, because nothing gets done without your teammates.
Of course.
That was how I approached every job. Who do we have? Who can we galvanize to do the best? That was important to me. And some of my imports, they get homesick, especially American guys, they come to Europe. Like for Germany, as much as it's a 2-hour flight, it's a big culture change. But as British people, I'm not British, but being born in Britain and living in Britain most of your life, you kind of get the gist that Europe is not so far.
Yeah.
But if you're American, the way it's a complete culture shift.
Oh, yeah.
It's a complete culture shift, and I kind of wanted to be able to support my guys in that way. So it wasn't really a big adjustment for me, to be honest, but it was nice to be the import.
Did you feel like there was a different level of pressure?
I don't really believe in pressure. I think pressure is a trick.
Okay, talk to me about that.
I think if we believed in pressure, let's say we believe in pressure, right?
Yeah.
I always, people always say to me, I've never been in a situation. That's why I'm quite calm about the roster we have. I'm not so ecstatic, like we're going to walk the floor with everything.
Yeah.
Because I always want to be in a position to win anyway.
Yeah.
So if there is an inherent pressure, I'm not feeling it, because if there was a situation where I wasn't in a position to win, I don't want to be in that situation anyway. I don't want to play to stay in the league. I want to play to keep. I don't want to be, the Brighton and Hove Albion of the NBL. I've been in that situation anyway. When I was in NBL, we was always the first 4 seeds. Yeah. I've never been in that situation. I've never lost in the first round. This is the first year I've lost in the first round of the playoffs, like last year.
Yeah.
So I always have high expectations for whoever I'm on the team with. I've always played with marquee, really good guys. Yeah. So I don't believe in pressure, because it's like cryptocurrency. It's not palpable. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so I either don't believe in it or I don't understand it. Because, I want to win. And if I play bad and we win, I'm happy. If I play good and we lose, I'm sad. If I play good and we win, I'm just as happy as if I played bad and we won. So I'm just a consummate teammate. So pressure, if I do have pressure, I'm probably sharing it with a bunch of people. But I have this kind of, I don't really believe in pressure and all this. I don't believe in the individualities of a team sport. I'm not a hockey. I'm not a tennis player. I don't. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's not real pressure, to be honest.
Okay, what about the weight of expectation? And I'm not just talking about in basketball. I'm talking about, life in general. So we can get some athletes who put so much on themselves and say, I have to be able to achieve this. I have to be able to achieve that. And sometimes, progress might not be as visible to what a lot of people are trying to do. So they sort of, for the lack of a better term, mentally fold under that weight. Was you ever in a situation where you had to sort of deal with, handling the expectation of being able to achieve multiple goals in a time period and you couldn't do so?
I mean, it's all about the cohesion of your personal goals and the team. The team, you should already realize what the team's goals was before you signed the contract.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't mesh with your personal goals, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Now, teams can tell you, look, man, yeah, we want you to be the MVP and blah, 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 and you feel like someone's pulling for you. But that's not always the situation.
Exactly.
When it comes to expectations, I put a lot of expectations on myself, but I prepare. I prepare myself. Thank you. My wife is playing, doing karaoke. But I put a lot of expectations on myself. So if I don't, it doesn't matter what the situation is. If I didn't do what I felt like I could do, that is a tough thing to shake. That is a tough thing to shake. I think the toughest thing to shake, honest to God, the toughest thing to shake is playing bad and not knowing why you played bad.
Okay, yeah.
As I told you, I watch a lot of tape. What I just focused on this week. Why is it still happening?
Yeah.
I've been in slumps before. I've been in shooting slumps before. And I remember when I first left Germany my first year, I was like, bro, I stunk that gym up. And by the time I got home, there was a stat that said I was the third best 3-point shooter out of every single British player that was playing overseas. And I played the least minutes and I still felt like I stunk up the gym. So the expectations you put on yourself have to be edited, because to the point where you have to be a little bit better to yourself. I'm being a hypocrite by talking like that, because I'm not. Like, if you ask my wife, she'd be like, what have you eaten today? Why are you still working out? Why did you work out? Why have you had a day where you've rested? And it's worse than she wants me to take time off, but I kind of feel like I want to be able to say I did everything I could to win a trophy. Yeah. And that can be bad. I'm not gonna say I'm good. I'm good. I'm gonna say I probably need to improve on that. So this conversation here is probably helping me a lot, because when I'm actually focusing on the clarity of, I should have done that better. I should have in that situation. I should have taken one day off. I should have read a book, because I love reading and stuff like that. So that's the weight of expectation that you put on yourself is probably the more damning than someone else's opinion. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just got to be better at weighing those, to be fair, probably.
When you say those tough pills to swallow, what steps did you take to deal with them?
Well, I listened to people that I love. I listened to my enemies more than actually. I listened to my enemies, people that don't like me, There was a coach in Milton Keynes who hated me. Everything he said to me was personal, but the stuff that I could wheedle out, like, he basically made me a better shooter. He didn't like me. He used to tease me about it. And I put the work in, not to shut him up, but to think, if this guy, he's a very, I actually think I really highly respected the guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't Vince and it wasn't Mike, but I highly respected this guy and what he was saying.
Yeah.
And if this guy can tease me and tell me the truth about myself to a level that makes me feel bad about myself, maybe I need to improve on it. And that's what I did. So also listening to my loved ones, the people that I love will never tell me a lie.
Of course.
They won't do, they won't always be basketball people. They won't always be professional basketball players, but people I grew up with, basketball. Guys that I played basketball with in Las Vegas when I lived in Las Vegas would say, it's like one of my close friends, Chiz, was watching me play against Solent and they were busting our ass, like bad, right? Ian Smith was busting our ass.
Yeah.
He said, Ishmael, what is going on here? You played against Brandon Knight. Is this how you looked against Brandon Knight? And I'm like, no, but I was 18 and ignorant. I didn't even know who Brandon was. But he kind of didn't understand. He kind of got lost in the sauce with what my role was.
Yeah.
But I could have been more aggressive in that situation. So the people I love help me. My enemies help me. People that don't like me. And that's that's kind of how I get through adversity and trying to understand how to do that.
Of course. Just a couple more now, yeah. First one. Do you think there is more, like especially with the increase in, mental health complications amongst athletes and men in this country? Do you feel like there's more that could be done, to help athletes? Let's just look at basketball specifically. Do you think there's more that Basketball England could do? I'm not even talking about funding here, but just things that they could do to sort of, give athletes options to, better their mental state. Because I feel like a lot of athletes, a lot of basketball players, male or female, are going through a lot with no sort of access to services and no one to turn to.
I don't want to be this guy because a lot of people complain about Basketball England.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. I know.
But at this moment in time, I don't think they care, to be honest. I mean, I think they chase their fees. They chase their fees. I've seen it. They chase your DBS. They chase this. They chase that. But if you pick up the phone right now and say, I'm going to call Basketball England, and someone picks up the phone on the other end in Manchester, and you say, I'm having a really tough time in my life, I don't think the person on the other end of the phone is going to know what to say to you. So that's point blank period. You don't know what to do. You don't know. You're not doing enough because they never
There's
even
no one there. Yeah.
Never even tweeted about that. And I'll be with you, man. Like, men in this sport, I could tell you, I would never put their business in the street, but do you know how many men that played this sport in England had nervous breakdowns?
Yep.
I had to chase my friend to the hospital to make sure he was there.
Yeah.
I call my other friends to tell him, look, he's going crazy. He's not well right now. He's doing something mad on Instagram. Please call him and stop it. Like, I've spoken to people who have been like suicidal about not making it where they felt like they were going to make it, or not making the money where they felt.
Yeah.
But think about basketball in this country, right? Think about all the hoops you got to jump through to get paid as a British player. Then think about the support you don't get whilst giving everything you have.
Yes.
There's players now, you hear about some players now, and I won't put their name on the street, that were being asked to play for free, who now play in some of the best leagues in the world. So they had to leave. So you're asking this guy to sacrifice his livelihood, who's incredible, and you're not gonna do nothing about it. Like, you're not gonna pay him, but if he then comes and tells you that he can't play because you're not gonna pay him, you want him to devote all this time, then like, of course he's gonna wig out mentally.
Yeah. It's going to take a toll, isn't it? It's going to take a toll.
How many guys do me and you know personally who stopped playing basketball purely because, even though they love it and they were great at it, purely because the money wasn't there? And not only was the money wasn't there, there was no support.
There was no support whatsoever.
Okay,
None.
the money's not there. Fine. Can you get me on a coaching course without me paying? Can you house me? Can you do this? Can you do that? I'm giving you this. What do somebody, you know what I mean? So the clubs need to do more, and they need to be honest, they need to be given more resources by Basketball England.
Basketball England, yeah.
And I'll say it again, I don't think if I called Basketball England today and picked up that phone and said, look, I'm having a really tough time at basketball, mentally I'm not right, is there anyone you think I could speak to? I'm not. First of all, I think I'll be on hold for 45 minutes. The second thing, I think you're gonna pick someone. Whoever's gonna pick up the phone is not gonna be helpful.
Yeah,
and they can take it how they want to take it.
Honestly, that's probably the honest answer. I didn't expect anything less from you, man. Honestly, I appreciate you for joining me on the show, having this conversation with me. I really appreciate you. Hopefully, I see you this season. Hope to see you kick ass one of these days as well.
Yeah, I need to start kicking ass. I don't think I've kicked ass for 3 years, but I think I'll figure it out.
Look, as long as it ain't mine, I'm good. Isn't it? That's it.
For sure.
But appreciate this conversation. Hope to talk to you soon. Tune in to more. This mini series is going to continue throughout the entire month of August. Just tune into the Rebound NBL show and tune into more. Take it easy, man.
Love, man. Thank you.
Love, man. Appreciate you.